Well, hi, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me and keeping me company in my shop here while I work on this big old radio. What I'm going to do today, at least at the start, is simply play the radio and do the different bands on it now that all the strings are in place, and just get a feel for how well the radio operates as is, because I know it operates to some degree. That'll force me to get more comfortable with the antenna connections and a couple other things too. So I think that's a good thing to do at this point. Plus, going to give me some kind of a foundation from which to work in terms of the operation of the radio. But the first thing I want to do is I want to share something with you. It has nothing to do with radios whatsoever. It has to do with the meaning of words. So all my life, even though I'm Canadian, I've been hearing this phrase, high crimes and misdemeanors. I'm sure you've heard this phrase. I don't know if it exists anywhere in the world outside of the American government system where it's referred to in one of their constitutional documents. I believe that's where it comes from. High crimes and misdemeanors. Well, a misdemeanor is a minor crime. High crime must be a big crime. Well, where do you draw the line there? No, that's not what it means. A high crime is any crime committed by somebody in a high position. You're in a high position? You did a crime? That's a high crime. That's all there is to it. So if you think about the highest person in the system a couple hundred years ago, maybe over in England, that would be His Highness. His Highness, the King. His Highness. If His Highness committed a crime, it would be a high crime. Well, what's the problem with that anyway? Like, why even state it? Because the crimes caused or undertaken by people in high positions are extremely difficult for a society to deal with. And that's why societies have to pay very careful attention to criminal behavior of the people at the top who might commit those high crimes. Because it's very hard for society to deal with this. You don't want people in high positions committing crimes. So a special focus on it. And don't forget, misdemeanors and high crimes too. There you go. Sounded a little speechy again. Can't control myself 100%, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna get this guy going. I've got the antenna switched on. I gotta go drink some coffee and calm myself down, because those kinds of speeches rile me up. Shame on me. Okay, first thing was hooking up the speaker again. And I was smart enough to take a photograph of how I connected it on the other side of the connector, so it was pretty easy for me to sort the wires out there. I'm pretty certain I've got them correct. Doesn't mean anything, but that's how I feel. Now, the antenna. So in studying the schematic, and from time to time, I noticed that these two wires that are hanging out were really headed towards a loop antenna, which is missing in this radio. So if you want to listen to broadcast, this would be the connections to connect to. On the other hand, if you have a wire antenna, like for short wave, I should put it that way. If we want to listen to short wave, we've got to use this antenna input here, I'm pretty sure. Now it's a really weird thing here, because in behind, these two terminals are just shorted together with a piece of wire, and that's how it's shown on the schematic too. Well, that doesn't make much sense to me, why they would do that. Why would they have two terminals back here? This is almost always a ground and an antenna terminal. And I want to take a look at what it says here. A, and this says D. D. Dipole. So maybe that doesn't make sense, because they're shorted together. I don't know, it doesn't make sense. But when the time comes, this is my antenna lead from an outdoor antenna. I will attach this here when we listen to shortwave. Outdoor antenna. I've mentioned this outdoor antenna I'm using quite a bit. Well, I bought another one. I have it, so I'm going to show it to you here before we start doing any more with the radio. So you know what it is that I'm actually using as an antenna. I will fetch that. Okay, just a short conversation about this. Here's the antenna. well, it's inside this tube, this plastic tube. Here it is. So what do you see? You see a circuit. This is an amplifier circuit. It has to be fed power, so that somehow power has to come up the same lead that's taking the antenna signal away. And you can see there's a line running up here, and then this is a plate, if you like, just a bit of circuit board copper, I guess I could say, right in here. That's the actual receiving antenna, and right off the bat it's running into somewhere here. Very short order is a FET transformer, I'm sure, an FET, field effect transistor. Did I say transformer? Transistor. That's all it is. This is just a loose cap, comes on. You can see inside there. It's just sitting in there. That's all it is. So you can think of this rather than a wire antenna, which is kind of like a transformer of a sort. You know, it's a secondary of a transformer, kind of. This is much more a point voltage source or voltage sensor. So you can think of it as a point in space, and it's reading the fluctuation of the electric field at that point. And the point happens to be this big. And that doesn't matter because the wavelength that this works on, this works up to 30 megahertz, is so long compared to the little plate. The plate is a point. You need a little bit of a plate there because you need a little bit of something going into the first transistor. If you just had a little point, it just probably wouldn't be enough. So why haven't these been around for 100 years? They probably have been. Maybe not 100 years, but they probably have been around since the 50s and that. And the technology was too expensive for someone like me to have, and too big and too clumsy. And now it's just a little thing here, and this cost me all of 35 bucks. So we attach a cable here. It comes with cables, this one. And that same cable goes here. And all this is a box. You're supplying power to this box. I have to have a power supply, but you know, I got power supply. So you give it your 12 volts here, and then this thing will send the 12 volts up the antenna line without sending it down to your radio, which is a different connector here going to your radio. Antenna is very inexpensive. Comes with a lot of cable. Cable itself, if you tried to buy it separately, would probably cost more than the antenna. The result of my experiments with now the other antenna I have is a little different than that one. It's the same idea, probably made by a different guy. That's the situation. I've got it on a pole up on top of my deck. It's easy to erect. It's not like a wire. You got a lot of problems with hanging a wire, and real easy to do. And the result is better all the time on all frequencies compared to any other wire antenna I've compared it to. Not that I have fantastic wire antennas. And the thing to keep in mind about especially a tuned dipole antenna is when you're not on the tuned frequency, it's a lousy antenna. There's nothing special about a dipole antenna off the tuned frequency, so it might be better just with a random wire out there or something like that. But by far, I think this is the easiest, bestest way to do this. If you try this indoors, in some places this is called an indoor antenna, you're going to sense the electric field inside your house, which is full of interference of all sorts. So better off outdoors, I'm sure, and high up and away from noise sources and the like. Anyway, that's the antenna that I'm connecting to here. That my outdoor antenna feed comes all the way to here, and therefore all the way to here. So, okay, just want to clear up any mystery as to what might be going on. These are called, by the way, these are called mini whip antennas. There's no whip. Mini whip antenna, and I got mine off of Amazon. I think it took 6 weeks for that one to show up because it's cheap. It's almost no money. I'm gonna buy another one. Why not? They're so cheap. It's unbelievable. Great. So I think we're all set to go. Except what are we going to do? So we're going to hook up. We got to hook up to where the loop antenna would normally be. Now, what am I going to do in the long run with this radio with no loop antenna? I have this kind of thing here. So this kind of thing can sit on top of a big old radio like that. Looks pretty cool. And serve as the loop antenna. You know, the missing loop antenna. No problem at all. Okay, so we have the antenna connected. We have the power plugged in. We have the speakers hooked up. I don't think there's much more to do here. Except turn it on and see what happens. Okay, practicing on, there's no power, so practicing. That would be on, that would be off. Look at these weird knobs, eh? They're really quite strange. And then this is the volume. Volume's down. We want to put one of these buttons in. No, why would we want to do that? We just want to make sure the phono button is not pushed. Excuse me. Phono button, there's no phono input on the back. Oh, there is, sort of. Yes, there is. There is a phono. Phono, I think it's phono television input. Phono tel V. Tel with the V in quotes. That's fine. Okay, this is the one we've got to worry about. Okay, so we're going to put on, that looks like that's got to be AM. It says in here, band A. Band A. Okay, we're set. We're ready to go. All good. Switch is off. So nothing should happen. Good, nothing happened. 110 volts is our voltage today. I'm going to switch it on with this. Through the dim lights. I think I can hear some filaments shaking right away. $77 volts. A little low. We'll give it some time to warm up. If you notice, I've put the sleeves back on the tubes. Okay, come on, speaker. I need a reassurance I've got this wired up right. Noise. No noise. Well, 77 volts. Maybe too little. Let's crank it up here. If I've done something wrong, I'm just cranking up the fault current here. No sound from the speaker. You know, one thing, I didn't check all those clips to make sure they were clipped on properly. Maybe they aren't. 85 volts. Okay, we're above 90 now. Not a sound. Not good, not good, not good. I don't like that. Okay. It's all look absolutely fine. That all looks fine. Why did we not hear anything at all? Not any sound at all. And the obvious thing is I haven't got the speaker plugged in properly. Okay, double check that. Let's see. This picture is from the inside of the radio. So we should see the red plug is on the side that goes inboard. It's the side that goes inboard, and it should be the upper one, and it is the upper one. That looks perfectly fine. That looks this, so I think this is correct. So that's the field coil. Oh, I think I see a problem. Oh, no. Then right next to the black one is one of the yellow ones. That's right here. And then we skip one in the middle. I remember there's the one being skipped, and we come up here and you kind of see the back yellow one is one space away from the red one. It all matches. I don't see there's a problem there. It's all matching. What else could be the story? Not much. Maybe I just chickened out too soon. I do have the antenna connected. The antenna is switched on. The band change didn't make any crackling sound, which is very, very disturbing to me. I didn't try any of the grid caps. Okay, we're going to try again. Here we go. Once again, switch is on, power's on. Big draw initially, of course. Tubes are lighting up. Volume is up, volume's down, volume's up part way. Oh, the speaker's way over there. I get my head over there to listen to it. Wait a minute, I got a better idea. I don't want to lean over the top of the radio. A little bit of a hum there. Yeah, something there. Something there is just very, very, very quiet. Sounded like it was working. Okay. More voltage is needed. Turn it down. How much more can we get here? We're barely at 90. I gotta go straight on. Straight on. Straight on, I tell you. Okay. Volume down. And we gotta turn this down, or I gotta run the set at 150 volts. That would probably make some sound come out of it. Here we go. Okay, now we're hitting it with 104 volts. There we go. That's all it was. This guy needs 100 to show up. Okay, broadcast band. Now let me spin this around here. Oh, jumper! What the heck was that? Oh my gosh, what was that? Holy smokes, I have no idea what that snap was. Yikes. I don't know what could that have been? Ay. Okay, maybe for now we'll just leave the radio where it is. We put the brake on here so it won't rotate. What was that snap? That was it sounded like a high voltage snap to me. Okay, there we are. And you can just go right here. And we don't have the dial in front of us, unfortunately, but low end, high end. So we'll head down to the low end. I'm going to have to help this thing all the way, I'm pretty sure. How can I do that? Wow, it's just nothing at all being picked up. Except that noise. But didn't we receive something with this before? I can't see the capacitor. It's hidden from view up here, so I'd like to double check that. Come on, keep going. Something. That's full volume too. There's a trimmer capacitor sitting right here. That's related to the loop antenna. I'm not using a loop, of course. I think a pretty strong signal's coming here from my outdoor antenna, so let's keep going. And find out the low numbers are at this end. No, it can't be. Get quieter and quieter. So up at this end there's nothing. Not a good showing. I thought it did a better showing before. You know what? I've got the wrong antenna connected. I think I may have no antenna connected because I brought it down here to show it to you. Yeah, now this is not the outdoor one, but I had this hooked up last night with a switch so I could switch from this to the outdoor one. I was flipping back and forth, experimenting with this guy. I'll bet you there's no... Oh, okay. He's all excited now. Jim, you're all excited. Well, I'm going to go turn that switch. No, it turns out everything is set fine. So the antenna signal should be down here. Nothing whatsoever. Well, I wouldn't say that. There's something right here. Anything, come on, anything. Well, we can go back and forth all day. If it's not there, it's not there. You have to put a signal generator onto this. Okay, well, that didn't work out. So let's try the next band up. The next band is band B. That's nice. I like that. I can't imagine this isn't effective now. Let's take this off. Well, let's see. You know, both systems feed to the same tube, so let's try it down here though. Seems a little better. Ground not connected. Band B is probably a low frequency band. The tuning's getting better, right? What was that? Moving this way, you pick it up here. Moving the other way, you pick it up over here. That's not a good sign. If this is a low frequency, you know, below 5 megahertz, how do you like that? It's huge nothingness here. We got something. That was teletype. That's pretty interesting. Okay, we'll go to the next band. Band. Oh, these are all just lettered bands. So unless I do have it. I have a picture of it. Let me get that out. I apologize. Every time I bring my phone out, there's a chance it interferes with the video. No. Okay, just give me a moment while I learn how to use my phone. Okay, here we are. There's the front dial. And band B, that's where we were. 1.7 to 5. Band C, 6 to 18. So there's another broadband. 6 to 18. Wow. So that pretty much covers it. We're not picking anything up. Ooh, what was that? What was that pop? It's impressive. I'm tuning along here. Oh, fantastic. We got something. Can't leave the music on though. So what's happening here is the string that's driving the pointer is moving the pointer, but during that motion the capacitor is standing still. There's slack or something taking up, and that's why I'm getting this. Ooh, what the heck was that? Some weird stuff going on here. Part of the weirdness is the weird tuning situation for me. Don't know what that is. Huge problem with the tuning. Oh, it's right beside it. It's working. That's a main finding. This band working. Okay, next band. Next band to look at. Band D is... So band D is a spread band at around 9 megahertz. Goes from 9 point... might get down to 9.3. It goes up to almost 10. That's interesting. Okay, we'll go next band. See, the volume came up. Band D. Certainly sounds like a radio. Just come on, you can do it. It's just... Oh, there he goes again. Should be picking up stuff here. Nobody home. Got the pointer way too far over this way. Oh, I loosened it, didn't I? Did I? I didn't, but no, I didn't loosen it. For a while I was thinking this was the drag problem and I was going to loosen it off the string, but I never did. Well, okay, nothing there. We'll go to the next band. The next band, I believe, is 11 megahertz. Check and see. Yes. Starts at around 11 and goes up to 12. So it would be around 11 here. Next band. One there. Should get some strong stations here in Spanish. Okay, a little experiment. I'm going to hook the ground of the antenna to the chassis. At this point, the chassis is ungrounded. I'm in an isolated transformer, so this is kind of a big deal a little bit. Let's see what happens. Nothing happens. A little better signal strength. A little bit better.
No one remembers OB's 55 goal season.
Sound is nice. Here we go.
It's a big one for him.
Rather like this, and like, remember what your teacher would say when you brought in like a snack or a candy? You know? And you really just wanted that, and they say, yeah.
Tone.
All your classmates can't have a candy, then no one can have a candy. That's how I was raised. So no one got the candy. So maybe sports is for it. Everyone's on to work today, no one can wear it. There, got you out of it. Let's go to you.
Bono.
Yeah, hi. I agree with you, Alex, on the CAFEA, 100%. The friend. I'm a Legion member, and people got to get over this turban thing. The turban's totally different. It's a religious thing, like you said. And guys wearing turbans fought shoulder to shoulder with Canadian troops in 2 world wars in Korea. So they earned the right to wear the turban in an RCMP uniform, a Canadian Armed Forces uniform, or municipal police or OPP uniform. So people who have this hang-up that a turban is not Canadian, a turban is a Commonwealth symbol. It was respected throughout the British Empire for hundreds of years. So from a true blue patriotic Canadian, get off the turban thing, okay? But Alex, you're 100% right on this.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't always think I'm right, and I don't come onto the show every day and think I'm right.
What is this we're listening to?
But I look at this issue and I say, we've got too many politicians just unable to take a stand on what should be very, very simple. It's not appropriate. It's a symbol of a missing message. It's not going to be worn. We've got rules. Let's go to Guelph, where we find Daryl. Good morning, Daryl.
Good morning, Alex.
You know what?
You know I'm a leftist.
This is broadcast.
I tend to
No.
fight for left-wing ideals. But
Okay, I still accept you, Daryl. I still think we could be good friends.
And I appreciate that, and I do enjoy when we occasionally are in...
There's no way this is shortwave. This is Canadian radio. This is the broadcast band. Well, I got this knob totally backwards. How could I? Because I put the strings on backwards here. Really? Is that what you did, Jim? Did you really do that? Radio says, yeah, you did. You did it backwards, man. Holy smokes. When I crossed these strings here, I thought, well, that's really clever of those guys. They shouldn't have been crossed here. Okay, so if this is the broadcast band, let me move the antenna back to the loop antenna input. Again, a little bit of signal leaking through from the wrong antenna or selection there. We put this back here. Somehow it just seems to me that if there's a way to get it wrong, I usually find that way. I don't hear him now. Where'd he go?
Means more.
Definitely more volume.
It will. Well, you know what I really like about it too? Patrice, it's one thing if Patrice Bergeron shuts you down. You get stuff. Pavel Zacha, it's not going to be as easy to swallow. And I think if over a calm, glassy lake, you cast your line. Your new Toyota sits majestically by.
Good morning. April 18th. I'm Sarah Parrott.
And I'm Steve Roberts. Here's what's making news right now. Drivers waking up to $1.80 gas after a 14-cent price hike.
Ridiculous. It's crazy.
Human deer or something, you know what I mean? They smell that stuff.
That's Hamilton.
Oh, they ripping their underbritches off like they got fruit flies flying around in a cotton patch down there, you know what I mean?
On verra rock et qu'il y a toute une histoire derrière ça. And then it flows right back down from Keeler to Dixie Martin Road. East 401 delays continue from Dixie out to better than expected revenue outlook also reaffirmed.
I think that's 1430 from Toronto. Hey, where'd the noise go? The noise went way down. End of the road. So it looks to me like, and the noise came back. It's not me. Wow, that's so noisy. I didn't realize how noisy that really is. the noise is on the antenna. It's not the radio's fault at all. Well, okay, so I had all the bands turned around. I put this on wrong. Not a problem right now. So once again, the radio is largely working. Appears to be a little bit underperforming. Oddly enough, there's no hum coming out of it, and there's white crap coming out of the top of the filter capacitors. Are these warming up at all? No. Nope. See, this one will get warmed up by this tube over the long run. Well, yeah, what to do with it? Let me turn it off. So it's still loaded with old capacitors. Isn't that surprising how you can turn one of these things on and actually make it operate really bad shape? Now if I move this over this way and tip it up, I can keep the speaker plugged in. As long as I keep, oh, don't touch two things there, Jim. My hand right on the chassis here. I don't want to touch another electrical thing in my shop when I'm doing this kind of stuff. Is it going to fall right over? No, it's not going to fall over. And what is holding it on here? Put it like this. There. So you see I've just positioned the speaker plug off the edge here so I can keep the speaker connections made. How to go forward with this now in some kind of logical, sensible way. And by that I mean you want to go forward in a way that doesn't risk the operation of the radio. So you want to do something that you might make a mistake and kill the operation of the radio, not be aware of it. And that's the simple rule there is don't do too many changes at once before testing the radio. Well, there's a couple approaches. One is you kind of start at the audio end and work your way back through the circuits, testing everything and changing capacitors and making sure that's all good. Another way is you start at the antenna end and come forward, jumping right in the middle. There's some ways of doing that. You could argue certain capacitors are more critical than others and you should attend to them first, like a grid blocking capacitor or bypass capacitors that might be weak. I already considered the capacitor here. I'm not worried about this one. We still plug. Let me just pull the plug in. A little added safety there. And I don't think there's any heat. I think I looked at this with the viewer, the thermal viewer. There's no heat building up in it at all, so that can stay the way it is. So we got an electrolytic guy here, and the filter capacitors that are up on top appear to still be connected in the circuit. The other one is right over here. Yeah, it's just, there's wires going to it. There's crap coming out of the bottom of it. So, as I found from experience, and I don't know if this is really a rule or something, but if you've got a field coil speaker, most of the hum control is happening in the field coil, I think. Or the hum. The hum elimination is taking place in the field coil. So weak capacitors, you can still get a pretty humless radio. That's my impression. We've got these two guys here. Not sure why they're there. Yeah. So I think I might just call it quits here today. And tomorrow we'll start working on different. We'll pick something to. We'll do something. I'll do something tomorrow. That's a good idea. Do something tomorrow. Well, thanks a lot for watching today, and have a good day. See ya.